The following episode of The Kingdom of Isolation contains footage from the film being discussed. The footage is used solely for the purposes of education, commentary, and criticism under fair use. Please support the animators by watching this film on Disney Plus or home media where available. This episode also contains spoilers throughout.
Also, due to the subject matter that will be discussed throughout this episode, viewer discretion will be advised. For the final time this year, hello my fellow Pixar fans and welcome to the Kingdom of Isolation, where in times of trouble, why not celebrate the magic of Pixar? And today, well, this is it, the final episode of 2024, and we are going to be looking at the box office smash Inside Out 2, the sequel to the award-winning Inside Out. This came out in the summer of 2024. It's the final episode of the Pixar run for now. And as I mentioned, the final episode of 2024. We did it! We did it! We got to the end! At time of writing the script, I was comfortably ahead of schedule. But yeah, this is it. Final video of the year. And it's on, at time of recording, the highest grossing animated film ever. Suck it, Frozen! And no, Lion King 2019 doesn't count in that list as far as I'm concerned. Now, just like the last Inside Out film, I will go into some mental health issues that I and others have endured, hence the discretion at the start of the episode. And just like Inside Out 1, I'll treat the mental health issues with the care and respect that they absolutely deserve and need. Still, time to finish 2024 on a high note. What do you say? Now, the idea of Riley entering adolescence provided filmmakers with the perfect canvas. We met with experts, according to Mark Nielsen, one of the producers of the film, said that we met with experts, we read a lot of books and spoke with psychologists about what happened to the teenage brain, the expansion of their minds at that time. It became clear that pretty quickly that there would be a lot of potential and entertainment with a new group of emotions coming in and disrupting the core five that have just hit their stride in figuring out how to work together. And this is all added by executive producer Pete Docter. The funny thing is, when we did research for the original film, it was pretty clear there are more than just 5 emotions. But the whole world and story was complex enough that we really needed to simplify. This sequel afforded the opportunity to bring in some of the emotions we hadn't been able to use. Obviously, younger kids do feel things like embarrassment and envy. But I think our cheat that they only show up in later life works okay, given how loud they feel in our teenage years. It's been a blast developing more funny, caricatured, and relatable characters. That was the whole reason to make this thing in the first place. Now, Nielsen continues by saying there are definitely more complex emotions that come with being a teenager. Anxiety has been a big part of our story from the beginning, but the impact that the last few years have had on all of us, especially teens, it seems like it's the right time in history to be talking about. During the Disney Film panel, Disney showcased around 30 minutes of the film to the audience, which is around a quarter of the film. That Inside Out theme is so beautiful that anytime anyone hears it, how can you not get misty-eyed? The score this time is written by Andrea Datzman, taking over from Michael Giacchino, who's always a win. Don't worry, his themes are used throughout the film in various ways, with that motif we all know and love at this point. It's time for a game of hockey, so let's get reacquainted with Riley and our emotions. Amy Poehler is back as Joy, Phyllis Smith is back as Sadness, Lewis Black returns as Anger, but annoyingly, due to the insultingly low payment they were offered, Bill Hader and Mindy Kaling declined to return. And I don't blame them. For context, Amy Poehler was paid a $5 million salary alongside lucrative bonuses to reprise the role of Joy. Conversely, the rest of the first film's cast were each reportedly offered only $100,000 to return, equivalent to 2% of Poehler's salary and 0.01% of the first film's $858.8 million worldwide box office grossing. Because of this, Bill Hader and Mindy Kaling declined to return and were replaced by Tony Hale and Liza Lapira, respectively. Unacceptable! Now, Tony was last seen as Forky in Toy Story 4. Top right of your screens for the last time in 2024. That's where you can see every episode we've done throughout this year so far, but of course, it has every episode we have ever done in the Kingdom of Isolation, over 100 episodes. And of course, this year's 100th episode was, of course, no, hang on, right, before we get confused here, we reached 100 episodes this year. We didn't do 100 episodes this year, although that would be quite impressive if I managed to do that somehow. I'd be getting through the direct-to-video sequels in like a couple of months, if that. But yeah, that's where every episode we've done in the Kingdom of Isolation so far, over 100 episodes on offer. We've done every Disney film so far. We've now done all the Pixar films. We've got a number of specials, including one on Kingdom Hearts for its 20th anniversary a couple of years ago. We also have a number of festive specials as well. And of course, the anniversary specials as well. This year's anniversary special was talking about the Disney music that has been made over the years and some of our favorite Disney soundtracks. Liza was part of the Fast and Furious franchise as Trin in the fourth entry, which was 2009, I believe. She's also portrayed Liz in Crazy Stupid Love, and Kensington Tolman takes over from Caitlin Diaz as Riley. Of course, Caitlin's grown up by this point, so it makes sense to have a different voice actress. Headquarters is, of course, the heart of the Mind operation. It's where the console is located, the high-tech panel with buttons and levers designed to help Riley navigate any situation alongside the emotion best suited for a job. There was an existing set for Headquarters in the first film, according to Joshua West, who is the set's art director for the film. Which, you've already got the foundation from the first film, so it only makes logistical sense to keep that while they're making a couple of upgrades here and there. But within minutes of the second film starting, a demo crew comes in. We'll get to the demo crew shortly. So we had to figure out exactly what's been renovated. The music here is just awesome, as Joy introduces the team and catches us up on what happened in between films. Phyllis Smith came out of retirement to reprise her role as Sadness for Inside Out 2. She personally requested that Pixar find her a recording studio in Missouri, as she had no intention of traveling all the way to Los Angeles just for that. Originally, in an early draft of the script for the film, it was to be about Riley being in a high school talent show, but it was changed to Riley going to a hockey camp since she played the game quite often in the first film. Hockey is Riley's passion and a big part of her story this time around, so the locations and sets were important to artists and technicians at Pixar, according to the film's editor Marussia Horwitz. I went back and watched every hockey-focused movie I could find. One of those films I would imagine would be Miracle, which I believe has Kurt Russell in it. Might cover that film in another season of Sports Films at some point. I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. I think more than a dozen, and took notes on what I thought would work for this movie in the hockey scenes. The one scene I was super selfish about cutting myself was, of course, the opening game. The story team did great action shots with really high energy. It was just super fun to work on. The team is at the top of their game, and Riley is at the top of her game as well. Everything, animation, effects, lighting, brought to it. Everything the animation effects and lighting brought to it makes the scene feel very real. And still, lots of fun because you've got the emotions running the whole show. Amy Poehler said that she had been bugging Pete Docter, who is now the Pixar Chief Creative Officer, or CCO, and the team, and just saying, when are you guys going to make another one? When's that happening? When they told me their idea on how to approach the second one, I thought it was just genius.
Riley's personality islands are still going strong. Glad to see Boy Band Island finally broke up.
But Goofball is still monkeying around.
Where's Family Island?
It's right there.
Oh, hey, Lenny! Joy also fills us in on Riley's belief system.
Homework should be illegal.
Yeah, definitely agreed. To an extent. You're expected to have all of it, regardless of how much you have, to be done for the next day. Now, during this montage, Riley becomes immediate friends with Grace and Bree, all thanks to her sense of self.
I'm a good person.
It's what helps Riley make good choices.
After Joy catches us up, Riley's back in the game and pulls off a game-winning move, threading the needle. Oh yes, just give me that guitar with that inside-out motif and I love it! The Foghorns win right at the end, securing the championship. A hockey coach informs our trio on a hockey camp coming up. You've got Yvette Nicole Brown being the voice of the hockey coach, Coach Roberts. Now, Yvette has an Emmy nomination to her name thanks to a show entitled A Black Lady Sketch Show.
That's racist!
No, it's not racist. That is actually the name of the show. Grace Liu voices, well, Grace. And she has a number of video game credits to her name, including, but not limited to, Persona 3 Reload, Demon Slayer, Sweep Board, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Persona 5 Tactica, and the Legends of Heroes series. Sumaya Nuruddin Green is the voice of Bree, and is making her acting debut here.
Ooh, the Firehawks! Finally a team I can get behind!
I am so glad Lewis was kept on for anger. just for moments like that. The girls accept the offer to be part of the hockey camp, which starts the very next day.
It's weighing on her, so let's lighten the load. A one-way expressway to... We're not gonna think about that right now. Woo!
Now, to an extent, this is a fresh take on the plot beat of keeping Riley as happy as possible. Everyone is actually on board with this, even Sadness. Now, Riley's belief system is imagined in the film, according to production designer Jason Deemer. To accomplish what we had envisioned for the belief system, 9 different departments came together to work on the same sequence at the same time. He says, it was truly inspiring to be a part of such a large feat. The belief system is made with glowing translucent elements in a dark blue environment that's so powerful, a delicate technical and creative balance. No wonder it looks so good. We wanted it to feel breathtaking. We wanted to create a sense of awe when the emotions go down there. And they certainly did that and some, especially when you're seeing it on the big screen. Once again, Pixar delivers stunning animation and the music complements it beautifully, which I've just mentioned briefly just there. Sounds like something the music here, it honestly sounds like something that would help you you'd use to help you sleep at night. Now, Andrea did such a beautiful job with the score for the film. And we get a couple of little Easter eggs here while our emotions are in bed. Excuse me. Joy has a clay sculpture of Bing Bong by her bed. Oh, take her to the moon for me. We miss you, Bing Bong. As well as an origami pizza truck. So scratch that off the Pixar bingo card. Now, Anger has a small swear jar with coins in it, and that's on the shelf next to his bed. Now, during the night, the puberty alert sounds, which Joy manages to toss to the back of the mind.
Woo! Problem solved.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, the console's getting another update, and the next morning...
You're always on me! Can't you just lay off for like 1 second?
A bit much, don't you think?
I barely touched it.
Yes, Atlas has a try.
I'm the worst!
Oh no, honey.
Same response. Same goes for disgust, leading to what we got from the trailers.
Well, that's a preview of the next 10 years.
Riley is excited for hockey camp, as are Grace and Bree. Only
Coach Roberts isn't gonna be our coach next year.
Grace and Bree are not going to be at the same school as Riley, leaving her feeling pretty heartbroken about it. At least they get the full camp to have one last chance to be on the same team.
Now. It's okay. We need this.
Beautiful piece of character development for Joy there, learning that sadness is okay to have.
Are you okay?
Everybody act regular.
It's Valentina Ortiz.
We gotta say something.
Now, it's easy to see why teenage girls who are into girls, or just girls who are into girls in general, would want to be with Valentina. She is, I'm not gonna lie, she is really attractive.
FBI, open up!
Hey, did you not hear what I said? Or were they just not listening? Why did I say teenage girls and not boys? Sources from former Pixar employees claim that the studio wanted Riley to be less gay. You want to know the most boneheaded part of all this? The studio blamed Lightyear's financial failing on the same-sex kiss scene in that film. I didn't have an issue with it. In any case, wrong! The film was unnecessary and just a really bad story, especially with the characters who came across as absolute idiots on the same level of the useless Canadian, to the point where Socks, a robot cat, was the only competent character outside of Alicia at the start of the film of the entire film. In short, it was a very, very disappointing origin story that did not need to be made. We already had Buzz Lightyear of Star Command. When is it coming to Disney Plus? Damn it! It is, according to the scores, it is the worst Pixar film in the Kingdom of Isolation. Worse than Cars 2. The real reason, and my headcanon, is that Disney pushed 3 Pixar films in a row onto Disney Plus. The last one, Turning Red, completely unjustified, as far as I'm concerned, angering the animators who worked on the film, and Disney only have themselves to blame for conditioning families and Disney fans to wait for the films to come to Disney Plus. Anyway, Valentina is voiced by Lilimar. Something doesn't add up about the console, though. Why is it orange?
Orange? Who made the console orange?
Do I look orange?
I didn't touch
Orange is not my color.
Not me.
Hello, everybody.
Oh yeah, that's anxiety. The first of the new emotions we get introduced to. And that's all thanks to the first trailer in the film. For the film, I should say. She is voiced by Maya Hawke, who has a fantastic resume, including the likes of Stranger Things, the Fear Street films, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yeah, she's worked with Quentin Tarantino. How's about that? Other new emotions we get introduced to are Envy, voiced by Ayo Edebiri, who's been in the Spider-Verse, and voiced April in Mutant Mayhem. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, by the way. She's also won an Emmy for her role in The Bear. Adele Exarchopoulos voices Ennui, or Boredom, and is best known for winning the Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival in 2013. And what film was that for, I hear you ask? Well, the film in question, again, so she was in it was 2013, and my word, it was Blue is the Warmest Color. That is the English title of the film. And then you have Embarrassment, who's voiced by Cobra Kai Stingray, Paul Walter Hauser. An early draft of the screenplay introduced the following new color-coded emotions: freedom, love, passion, and strength. And later drafts replaced them with anxiety, embarrassment, ennui, and envy. Maybe we'll get those 4 in Inside Out 3, which is likely to happen at this point, given the huge box office numbers Inside Out 2 took. And we'll get to that in the legacy portion of the scores.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can get ahead of myself. I'm anxiety. I'm one of Riley's new emotions, and we are just super jazzed to be here. Where can I put my stuff?
What do you mean we?
Disgust, Anger, and Bing Bong were my top 3 from the first film. Envy is already in that top 3 here. Why?
Look at her hair!
We need hair like that.
That's why. Ennui is also on that podium.
And why?
No. Oh, nicknames! I'm gonna call you Wee Wee.
No.
For that alone.
But what about the new ones that we're about to meet?
No, okay. These next 3 days need to be about Bree and Grace.
Joy, the next 3 days could determine the next 4 years of our lives.
Anxiety, you're not helping. Now, she's not a villain, for context. She's not a villain here, but she's more of an antagonist throughout, trying to do what's best for Riley when she's only doing more harm than good. So, keep that in mind.
Oh, remember when we all finally came up to headquarters?
That was like 30 seconds ago, nostalgia.
Yeah, those were the days.
Nostalgia. You aren't supposed to be here yet. You still have about 10 years, 2 graduations, and a best friend's wedding before you're invited, but I will keep you in the loop, I promise.
Ah, nostalgia. Voiced by June Squibb, who has an Oscar nomination under her belt for her role in Nebraska. Riley causes everyone's phones to be handed in until after camp. And as a 1-2 sucker punch, she has the entire team skating lines. The equivalent of running suicides in Coach Carter.
Great job, Anxiety. I stepped back, you stepped in, you got Riley back on track, now I'm ready to step back in.
But that was just part 1 of my plan.
Wait, what? That's only part 1? Now comes the tough choice. What team does Riley join? In the end, thanks to Anxiety, she joins Val's team.
Do it! No, you can't have that. Put that back.
Joy, I don't mean to overstep, but it has to be done.
What the hell, Anxiety? You caused Riley to stab her best friend in the back! Anxiety becomes more antagonistic by suppressing our main 5 emotions.
Don't worry, Riley. You're in good hands. Now, let's change everything about you.
Yeah, brilliant idea. Changing everything all at once is definitely not gonna backfire at all in any way. Changing everything about her all at once isn't gonna help. This ends up starting the change of Riley's sense of self. Joy's team are put into the vault, but not just any vault. They're in vault A113. Wait a minute, that doesn't directly say A113. I brought something similar up with how Elemental put in A113. A, hydrogen, aluminium. A113. The hydrogen being number 1 in the periodic table, aluminium being number 13. There you go, that's how that works. Now, how did they get A113 here? The vault has Roman numerals on it, meaning the A113 is ACXIII, and that's how they do that. The C being 100, the X being the 10, and the 3 I's just each I being 1. I am so proud of myself for finding that one in cinemas. Good job I knew my Roman numerals. Otherwise, I'd have been like, what does all this mean? But when you've been looking for A113 often enough, you'll be able, sometimes Sometimes you find the A113s and you're just like, I'm so proud of myself for finding these. The vault is where all of Riley's secrets are kept. It is a high security locale with an important purpose. Being a teenager naturally comes with its fair share of secrets, so filmmakers had to have a place to store them. It was a fun set because it was the first original Mind World set we built, and this is thanks to sets supervisor Amy L. Allen. It's like a bank vault or the US Mint, very secure and imposing, complete with marble floors, and we wanted the audience to know instantly what it represents. And hey, they did a great job with that. Some of the secrets found in the vault include a kids show Riley still enjoys, Bluefy. You could argue his name references 3 kids shows, and those kids shows in question being Dora the Explorer, Blue's Clues, and as well as a possible reference to Bluey, since, Bluefy, Bluey, they both sound similar. Anyway.
It's Bluefy! From that preschool show Riley used to like?
That's right! And here's a little secret. Riley still likes the show.
Oh, how I've missed seeing 2D animation in modern media. Thank God for Studio Ghibli and The Boy and the Heron. We also get a reference to the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. All thanks to Pouchy. More on him later.
Okay, we're doomed.
Indeed. Welcome to your eternal fate.
Slashblade? But he's a video game character. Why is he here?
Yeah, I always thought Riley had a secret crush on him.
Video game crushes. Am I right? The boys had Lara Croft. Riley had Lance Slash.
Their destiny is not ours to change. We were all banished here, deemed unfit, worthless.
Don't you dare say that! You do not deserve to be thrown away!
And his special move, I shall set you all free, sounds very similar to Hanzo's ultimate from Overwatch.
For I shall set you all free!
And now it's time to meet Pouchy. A couple of voice actors to bring up here. James Austin Johnson, one of SNL's newest names, is the voice of Pouchy, while YouTuber Yongye voices Lance Slashblade. Yong has a number of prolific video games under his belt in terms of credits. So, here goes nothing. Kirby music? Excellent. We shall begin. Additional voices for Spider-Man 2, God of War Ragnarok, and Lost Ark. He's also had credited roles for Like a Dragon, Persona, Modern Warfare, Demon Slayer, Lords of Fallen, Lost Judgment, Genshin Impact, and Pokemon. Anime roles including JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Demon Slayer, and SAO, which is Sword Art Online. He has Rusty Rabbit, due for release next year at time of recording. Bluefy is voiced by Ron Funches, who also voices Cooper in the Trolls trilogy. Dynamite is what's chosen. 3 guesses by who?
Everybody say, oh, Pouchy!
Oh, Pouchy! Hi, everybody! I'm Pouchy!
Honestly, the blend of 2D animation here with the computer animation is just brilliant, as Riley is likely one of the kids who grew up with hand-drawn animation. Shame we don't get the We Did It song, because there's no time, apparently. Lance is laughed at the gods until...
Goodbye, friends. Hello, destiny!
Well, there's a lid for every pot.
Our quintet escape, and Fia has a hilarious response for Joy, going to the back of the mind.
We can't go back without her sense of self.
You want us to go all the way to the back of the mind? Are you out of your mind?
Joy comes up with a plan to get back to HQ, giving us some paper animation because of how simplistic a plan sounds. They discover Riley's up earlier than normal. Why? Anxiety, you want to explain yourself on this one?
Every time we miss, we skate a lap around the rink. Hockey is not a game, it is a sport.
I mean, to an extent, yes.
was amazing. We need to be that good every time. Let's run it again.
And no, that's not how training works. You need to understand that rest is just as important. And I should know. I'm an athlete. I know these things.
Hey, Riley. Hi. We are not sharing Val with them.
Envy, you're not helping!
Meanwhile, thousands of miles away.
The quintets are about to embark on the stream of consciousness when Sadness reminds Joy of something.
Sadness, come on!
But I've been trying to tell you. We can't take the tube back, Joy. Someone has to be at the console to recall us.
She's right. We'd be stranded.
Yeah, anxiety would have thought about it.
Yeah, Thea's right. Joy's not very good at making up plans or thinking of anything, is she? Ties into her character, I guess. But yeah. Sadness is chosen to go back to HQ and to recall the others. Riley's new sense of self is evolving all the time. At the end of practice, Val's squad head outside the coach's office and see the red notebook, and we also get the Luxor Junior lamp as well in her office. Riley heads to Val's get-together while Joy's squad are heading down the stream.
Oh, Get Up and Glow! They're so awesome! Get Up and Glow! I was all over them in middle school.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I was a glow girlie. Relax. No!
The way embarrassment just goes rip is absolutely priceless here. Anxiety tries to recall everything music related, only to be met with... Did you really think I wasn't going to do that with Pixar's Rickroll? Ennui then steals the scene with this.
I've been waiting my whole life for this very moment.
Oh yeah, I love Get Up and Glow. Love Get Up and Glow.
Creating a literal sarcasm. The end result?
Boy, are we so lucky we ran into you guys. Boy, are we so lucky we ran into you guys.
Huh?
Hey, welcome back, John Ratzenberger. Grace and Bree make their presence known at the party.
You love Get Up and Glow.
Oh, hey guys.
Oh, why are our best friends always trying to hang out with us?
Envy, they are Riley's best friends. They aren't giving up on her. It's you four that are driving a wedge in the friendship. So, again, bears repeating, you're not helping!
See? As long as we like what they like, we have all the friends we need.
Damn it, Anxiety, that's not how friendship works! Val tells Riley to be herself, but Anxiety, being completely oblivious, is more focused on becoming a firehawk. Joy tires? I really need to proofread these scripts before I actually start recording. I really need to start doing that going forward. Might need someone to help with that for me. Anyway, Joy tries to get a better view, only to give us this moment from the trailer.
And if Joy can't see that, well, then she's delusional.
Big mistake, Anger.
Delusional? Of course I'm delusional! Do you know how hard it is to stay positive all the time when all you folks do is complain, complain, complain? Jiminy mother loving toaster strudel!
Movie's best line. On a more serious note, we've all been there at some point. Then Joy breaks down, calling back to what Anxiety says earlier.
Riley doesn't need us as much as she needs them. And that hurts. It really hurts.
Damn, it really does. It really does hurt. The ethereal music here complements Anger's words of comfort to her really well. Not exactly the sort of combination you'd be expecting from an Inside-Out film. But hey, it's Pixar. They always find a way to make things work. Unless it's like, you know. Anyway, most of the time, they almost always find a way to make things work. Back at HQ, Embarrassment finds Sadness and agrees to help her stay hidden. Joy's squad make it to Fort Pillowton, where workers are going through numerous what-if scenarios, causing Riley to stay awake. Anxiety is borderline villain territory at this point.
We buy flowers for the losing team. What? I can't always be the rage guy.
The one time Anger does something that isn't anger related. I love it. Anxiety then clicks what's happening.
Joy, I know you're in there.
Tension reaches boiling point between Joy and Anxiety, the latter being full antagonist at this point now.
If you wanted her to be happy, then you'd stop hurting her. Who's with me?
Thank you.
There's a brief moment where they recreated the distracted boyfriend. I know it's not necessarily relevant to the film, but I thought it would be fun to bring up. Everybody knows the distracted boyfriend meme at this point. Joy's revolt of the workers in Fort Pillarton leads one mind worker to throw a chair at the giant screen that Anxiety used to communicate with them. This is a direct homage to the infamous 1984 commercial for the Apple Macintosh personal computer, which featured a dystopian Orwellian society where a lone female runner, played by English runner Anya Major, in a bright orange tracksuit throws a hammer at a giant screen showcasing the face of Big Brother while being chased by thought police. The commercial aired nationwide in the United States only one time, on January 22nd, 1984. It was for Super Bowl 10-5-3-3-3. Yes, Super Bowl 18. 2 years later, Apple co-founder Steve Jobs, a driving force behind that Super Bowl ad, was a major initial investor in Pixar and was involved in their early development. At the Parade of Future Careers, the Pixar ball can be seen in the background, and I'm fairly sure that's everything ticked off. That reminds, we already got a tease for Elio earlier. We already got a tease for Elio thanks to Elemental. So we'll not worry about that. Although in saying that, how does Inside Out 2 tease? It's a little bit earlier in the film. It's during the sarcasm sequence. So, that begs the question. During that sarcasm sequence, is that where Inside Out 2 teases Elio? Yes, it does. Because one of the memory spheres has Elio in it. Although those sort of things are pretty difficult to spot. But hey, still, we've got a teaser in the next film, we've got the A113, we've got the Pizza Planet truck, we've got John Ratzenberger, we've got the Luxo Jr. lamp, and we've got the Pixar ball. We did it! We got Pixar bingo! Joy's squad, they managed to escape the mine cups, with Thea being the only one with a parachute, which we find out later.
Joy doesn't get it. Without our projections, we won't be prepared.
No, you don't get it. Joy's right. You're hurting her, yet you're the delusional one thinking everything you're doing is helping when you're doing the polar opposite! And breathe.
Everything Coach thinks about you is in there.
All we gotta do is sneak into her office and read it.
God damn it, Anxiety! Did you listen to anything I just said? Riley goes to read the book, only to see she isn't ready. Oh, and by the way, yes, you have been pushing her too hard, but again, you're completely oblivious to the harm that you're doing. I know I sound like I'm only ranting about how detrimental Anxiety is, but can you blame me? Oh, by the way, Anger, could you possibly step away from the console for a brief moment here? What? I read a story about that, and I thought, why not incorporate it into the episode? Somebody looking after a kid, and they're wondering how they're feeling, and they go all inside out. Anger, could you step away from the console? Could you step away from the console, please? I read that story, and I thought, why not incorporate it into the episode?
Sadness, you have to stop her. Just don't get caught.
Okay, sounds simple enough for Sadness. Anxiety ends up finding her.
I know Riley sneaking around feels wrong.
This isn't who Riley is.
Exactly! Anxiety, once again, completely oblivious! Joy and her team are caught in a brainstorm, which is actually very clever from the animation team. They find a way to escape at the expense of the big idea, making it to HQ. That big idea, a red streak in the hair, and Anxiety needs Riley to score 3 goals to beat Val's record of scoring 2. Into the belief system, and the new sense of self is created.
Come on! Here we go!
I'm not good enough.
What?
Well, don't you look stupid now, Anxiety? Typical that she completely ignores it and focuses on the game. Anxiety stops Joy and the others being called back to HQ leading to a heartbreaking moment from Joy.
Maybe this is what happens when you grow up. You feel less joy.
Now, that hurts to hear. The game is now underway. 1 goal down, 2 left to get. Anger calls on Pouchy and can only find mostly dynamite.
What do you think, I have everything in here?
Joy does think of a way to get back to headquarters. Just one thing.
But we're gonna need a lot more dynamite.
Gonna light it up like dynamite, whoa, whoa. There's one for the BTS fans. Riley makes her second goal, but can't quite make the third, despite numerous attempts. Dynamite's in place, and the bad memories flood into the belief system. Riley is sent to the penalty box, where the toughest scene of the film takes place, both story-wise and animation-wise. Oh boy, yeah. Riley ends up having an anxiety attack, which feels all too real for those who have experienced them, myself included. Now, you know that viewer discretion at the start of the episode? This is why that's in place. I've experienced numerous anxiety attacks since the events that took place in Manchester 7 years ago. At time of recording, a couple of weeks ago, I made it back inside the arena for the first time since the events of that night for Disney on Ice, and what an amazing experience it was. Loved every moment of it, especially when the theme was a road trip. Shame Lightning McQueen was there. I mean, they had an opportunity right there to have Lightning McQueen as part of the road trip. In any case, I achieved that goal, and there was no fear the moment I stepped into the arena and the show started. I've learned ways to ground myself so that my anxiety doesn't get the better of me. I even managed to help my best friend after she was dealing with a similar episode. This is like a few weeks ago, about a month or so ago now. Keeping my voice as calm as possible, guiding her through the episode until it had passed. I didn't need to help her at that point, but my caring nature kicked in almost immediately. Now, I have dealt with numerous PTSD episodes as well since that night. Over the last couple of years especially, my childhood trauma decided to resurface thanks to an abusive stepfather, reaching a point where I felt unsafe whenever he was at home. Now, the film's director, Kelsey Mann, has experienced anxiety attacks himself and wanted to reflect it in the movie. And it shows incredibly well in the animation as well. According to an article from Variety, 25 meetings took place to work out how to portray the scene as accurately as possible. Maya Hawke has said that she has experienced an anxiety attack herself, making the film role more personal for her. Numerous things were done, especially with the tight deadline as the film was almost complete. The attack starts and the sharpness is turned down, making everything blurry and less focused, to the point where anxiety creates such a whirlwind, she's trapped at the console until Joy tells her to let go. Again, a difficult scene to get through, but absolutely necessary to watch at the same time. This is the point where anxiety realizes she has gone too far.
You need to let her go.
All the bad memories flood back. Riley feels like she can't breathe. Anxiety apologizes for what she did. And a new sense of self is created with every bad memory that was created on top of the good ones that were made. The emotions then hug Riley's sense of self, allowing her to get through the rest of the episode before Grace and Bree check that Riley's okay, breaking me down every single time I watch it. And that's okay.
Yeah. I mean, no. was such a jerk to you guys.
This honestly bears repeating. It's okay to say that things are not okay. I'll link I've already linked the Kingdom of Isolation playlist in the top right of your screens, but I'm also gonna link the first Inside Out film as well, the episode on the first Inside Out film as well, so you can get the numbers, the phone numbers you can contact if you need any help for your mental health issues. Just know this: you are never alone with these battles. My best friend has actually saved my life more times than I can count, just by spending time with me, which I'm honestly so grateful for. Everything will be okay in the end. My best friend definitely helps me see that this year. Our trio of friends embrace, leading to this beautiful moment for Joy.
Joy, Riley wants you.
They finish the game. The beautiful Inside Out theme plays, getting me right in the feels every time. Camp is finished, and Riley's playing the waiting game to see if she's going to be on the team. Everyone is able to work together as the movie ends, being left up to interpretation as to whether she made the team or not. We also get a post-credit scene as well, where the dark secret is revealed.
Let it go, buddy. What's the secret?
We burn hole in rug.
Really? That's it? Whew, I thought you were gonna say the time we peed in the pool.
Oh.
Oh no, wait! And he's gone.
Oh, that's just fun. That's just fun. Special thanks in the credits to Dr. Lisa Damour, Dacha Keltner, Dr. Kristen Neff, and Dr. Paul Ekman for guiding the Pixar crew through the emotional journey, and a special dedication to the kids who we love just the way they are. How sweet. Whew. What an emotional journey that was, and an amazing film to finish the year with. So, for the final time in 2024, time for the scores. Now, I did think really carefully about all of these scores. Do they really deserve to be as high as this? Simply put, yes. The story, an 11. The story definitely shows how our emotions can affect us when we reach adolescence, and especially our teenage years, in a way that kids can understand. A mix of funny and tender moments throughout, especially with the anxiety attack scene. The characters, I'm also giving an 11. I really considered giving this a 10, but after consideration and taking things some of the characters said throughout the film into account, it deserves the 11. The new voices for Fear and Disgust don't take too long to warm up to, even if the originals would have been more ideal. Riley being the exception for understandable reasons. The new characters are great as well, especially with the moments with embarrassment that I mentioned earlier. But of course, the real star here is, of course, Anxiety, playing up the antagonistic traits, trying to portray everything she does as helping Riley when it's doing the polar opposite. My ranting aside regarding that. The visuals, definitely giving an 11 as well. A lot of this is down to not just the updates since the first film, but from how well they handled making the anxiety attack scene. The 2D animation thrown in, as well as the video game style character design for Lance, definitely helps the score be as high as it is. The soundtrack, I'm also giving an 11 as well. The Inside Out theme is so recognizable at this point, you could play the intro and everyone would know it instantly. The new music composed for the film is also beautiful, matching every plot beat throughout, especially during the anxiety attack. Yes, I am praising this anxiety attack scene to death at this point, and honestly, can you blame me? Massive props regardless, to Andrea for doing an amazing job with the score. I am so happy they kept Michael Giacchino on board for the Inside Out themes. Now, the legacy. This it's so let's just go through the legacy section before I get into the score. So here goes nothing. $200 million budget once more, and it was only projected to gross between $80 and $90 million domestically on opening weekend, partly due to audiences remaining hesitant to return to theaters. In the end, records were broken with this film. A worldwide debut of $294.2 million, making it the biggest worldwide debut in Pixar history. In its second weekend, $101.2 million, making it the most profitable second weekend ever for an animated film. And just 16 days after the film's release, it surpassed the first film's total, and 3 days later, crossing the $1 billion mark, matching the record for The Lion King 2019, which shouldn't really count as an animated film as far as I'm concerned. It ended up becoming the highest grossing film in Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Mexico, and Uruguay. Mexico was a very pleasant surprise, given the highest grossing film there at the time was Coco, before Inside Out 2 came and took the crown. July 2024 saw the film surpass The Incredibles 2 as the biggest animated film domestically. And then the big day, September 1st, 2024. It became the highest grossing animated film ever, with a worldwide total of $1.699 million at... No, 1.669 million? No, $1.699 billion at time of recording. And it's still being shown in cinemas around the world right now. 91% on Rotten Tomatoes, with the consensus reading, spicing things up with the wrinkle of teen angst. Inside Out 2 clears the head and warms the heart by living up to its predecessor's emotional intelligence. As of now, as of time of recording, it has 7 Annie nominations as well as 2 Golden Globe nominations in both ceremonies, nominated for Best Animated Film, which isn't really that big a surprise. But for the Golden Globes, cinematic and box office achievement, alongside the likes of Deadpool and Wolverine and Wicked. Right now, we're waiting to see what major accolades the film does win or get nominated for, outside of the Annies and Golden Globes. But I have no doubt it will be big during awards season. Do I think it's better than the first film? It is one of those cases where a sequel works for Inside Out, since we had the opportunity for new emotions with this film. I would say it hits harder emotionally, as it shows what a lot of us may have experienced. The anxiety attack and learning that it's okay to say that you're not okay. To answer the question, yes, it is, based on how it improved on the groundwork set from the first film. So, the legacy, it's getting an 11. The score is a 110%. We actually did it, finishing the year with a perfect score. 3 Pixar films and 2 Disney films with the perfect 110% score. Now, it goes without saying, I'll happily watch this again just to have a good cry at a Pixar film, and a full-hearted yes to recommending this to anyone. The Inside Out films are essential viewing for everyone. And that is it, not just for this episode, but for 2024. that is it. We've done it. We've actually done it. I honestly can't believe I'm saying that. We actually did it for 2024. Whew. We got to the end of the Pixar run. And with about, at time of recording, about 36 hours to spare. But still, we did it. We've done all the Pixar films. We've done all the Disney films. We've done all the Pixar films. So now it's time to head into the direct-to-video movies, the Disney Toon Studios films, starting next year. So, that being said, thank you so much to everyone who has supported this show from the start and throughout this year especially. We have had so much fun getting through the rest of the Pixar films this year. If you did enjoy this episode, hit the thumbs up. And if you want to be part of the Kingdom of Isolation yourself, you can hit the subscribe button down at the bottom, click the bell, and turn on notifications so you don't miss when an episode goes live. This is the last video on my channel for 2024. Next year, the first Kingdom of Isolation video is going to be a tribute to every Pixar episode that I've done, much like I did with the Walt Disney Animation Studios tribute video. And honestly, it is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of frustration in some areas because of the direct-to-video sequels, which don't exactly have the best reputation. But that being said, we're heading into the Disney Toon Studios films, and we're also going to be covering Moana 2 when that comes out on Disney+. Next year's anniversary special, I think it's time to give the villains a little bit of love. We're gonna go through. We're gonna go through the 10 highest-scoring films in the Kingdom of Isolation, and I'm going to be going through both Disney and Pixar lists to get those scores, and we're going to be ranking them based on their scores. The top 5 that have 110%, that's not going to be easy to do, but I will find someone that can help with the rankings, and then we will take it from there. That being said, thank you so much to everyone who has supported this show. Thank you for watching this episode especially. And so, it goes without saying, for the final time in 2024, I will see you guys next time in the Kingdom of Isolation. Have a wonderful new year, and I'll see you guys in 2025.